What is up, everybody? Good morning. We are jumping into the Modern Challenge with Yawgmoth version 9.0. Let me update this real quick. Not 89.9. Alright. And this list is one that I conceived last night. I played a league with a Vile list, and I had some success with it. Went 4-1 in the league. List felt good. With the exception of the Vials. So I was debating whether or not I was going to play Vials in today's challenge, and I decided not to because they did not feel good last night. I apologize. I just woke up, so I'm like a little groggy still. The main deck of this list is, I would say, not very stock. Things that have changed: I'm playing a Yawgmoth instead of a 6th fetch land. I am playing my Innkeeper over Wall of Roots number 4. Excuse me. Patron over Geralf's Messenger, and I'm running a Shieldred over the 4th Grist. I think the format's really aggressive right now, and I think Shieldred is probably pretty good, and Grist isn't as good in a super aggressive metagame, so this is my theory, and I'm testing it today, and we're going to see how it goes. Additionally, with regards to the sideboard, 2 Thoughtseize, 2 Necromentia, 3 Force of Vigor, 2 Endurance, 1 Ooze, 2 Veil of Summer, 1 Might. All of that's really normal. And then rounding out the sideboard with a Ratchet Bomb and a Necroplasm, once again, as a means of dealing with this aggressive format. We're going to jump into our first match. We just got paired. Let's do it. Alright, so match 1 of our Modern Challenge, and we are paired against gcool_co. They won the die roll. Opening 7 is a little slow, but I think we're going to keep this. Let's see how this goes. Alright, they lead on a Bauble. They do not have a Gigantha revealed, so this could be like blue-red. Alright, there's Steam Vents and a Ragman. That is not good news. That's always the thing you fear when you keep a hand like this. Turn 1 Ragman is not what you want to see. I'm going to lead on a Blooming Marsh and then pass the turn. If they have Counterspell up, we're going to be in deep, deep trouble, which I'm assuming they probably do. They kept a 7-card hand and they have 6 or 7 Counterspells in the deck, so not the greatest start here. Alright, they shock. Play a Dragon's Rage. Sure. Because they're committing to this Dragon's Rage right now, it actually cuts them off of potential plays if they, depending on what they hit out of my deck. I hit another land, which is fine. I'm glad we didn't draw that. We have Endurance in our hand, which is actually really good. Alright, so they got Treasure and Steam Vents up. I am going to fetch and play out my Geist and hope that it resolves. Trying to tap for green mana here. It's not letting me. There we go. Alright, we have a way to block the Ragman. So things aren't as bad as they could be now. We're in it. Wasn't expecting that to resolve. So this is good. My opponent has a million stops on, so we're stopping at every phase imaginable here. And they bolt my Geist at the end of my combat step. Sure. So we're getting double bolted here. Alright, so they're going into an iteration from here. This is going to put a 4th card type into the graveyard. They put a Murktide in the graveyard. Sure. And let's see what they reveal. Depending on what they do here, I might play out my Endurance, getting rid of the Evo. Okay, they have an Unholy Heat. See if they play out a land. They do. So with this happening right now, there's the Heat. I think their plan is probably to play out a Murktide, and I'm not going to allow that. So I'm going to be casting Endurance. So it will prevent 2 damage and it will cut them off of their graveyard. Blocks here. Save ourselves a little damage. I suppose I could have waited for them to fetch. Maybe that was the move. Alright, get one of our hierarchs, which kind of sucks. Kind of annoying. Actually produces a color of mana that they use in their deck. Yep. So best case scenario for us here, like if our Grist survives, that would be really good. They only have 3 cards in hand. They have no card types in graveyard. I think we're just gonna jam our Grist and hope it lives. They're fetching. I wonder if they're gonna try to Spell Pierce. Not realizing. Yeah, they're trying to Spell Pierce it right now. That doesn't work. Doesn't work. Sorry. Alright, if we can get a double hit off that would be really nice. We did not. But hopefully our insect survives here. Alright. They're going to consider EOT, so they're going to fill up their graveyard fairly quickly here. Alright, they put a consider in the graveyard, and then they keep a card on top. Play their second iteration of the game. Let's see what they reveal. Flooded Strand. They have 3 card types. And play out a Bobble. Alright, so they hit Delirium. It's amazing how quickly this deck fills up its graveyard and its hand. Like, it doesn't really feel like they did anything, but they're going to draw. Like, they started this turn with 3 cards in their hand, and now they're going to go up to 5. At least 5. Plus the Ragavan. See my top card. They play out a land. If they play out a Murktide here, we're going to be in big trouble. I think we were in big trouble on turn 1, but we will be in bigger trouble. Alright, so they're killing my insect, and they're going to attack down my Grist. Yep. And now they have 2 mana up, 2 cards in hand, 3 cards in hand. We draw into the worst card in our deck. Okay. I'm going to do what I can do here. I'm going to play out my Yawgmoth, and then I'll pass the turn. See if they have a counterspell. They do. And I think this is probably going to be game. Yep. So we're going to be down 1 here. On the back of a turn 1 Ragavan that we could not answer. We know they have a Spell Pierce in hand, so we do need to play around that if we are going to cast this Evo. So we have to wait a turn before we can cast that out. We're down in 9. And they revealed a Strangleroot Geist, which they can cast if they want to. Let's see if they want to. They're playing out a Shredder, and then they're gonna... they played out Shredder with the Hierarch. They could have cast the Geist, but they didn't because they used the Hierarch to cast the Shredder. I think that might have been incorrect. 3, 5, 7. Yeah, they don't have lethal as it stands, so the Geist would have given them lethal. Seems like a little bit of a mistake. They only have 2 cards in hand. Alright, we're gonna go Wall. See if they have another counterspell. They're hesitating, which makes me believe that they do. Into Grist. They're going to trigger the Shredder, but I think we got to get this on the board. G Cool Co. Serving us up game 1. Alright, Grist survives. 3, 6, 8. It's not lethal, so plus our Grist and pass the turn. They have 3 cards in hand. Their 3rd iteration of the game here. I'm kind of surprised I'm still playing this game right now, to be honest, but I'll make them kill me. I'll make them do it. There's a Murktide. You're going to trigger their Shredder. 4, 7, 8, 9. They have an 8/8 Murktide. Never feels good starting off an event on a loss. I mean, this isn't a match loss, it's a game loss, but you know, you like to start off on the right foot, get some positive momentum going. 4 at Grist, 3 at me, sure. They have 2 cards up, 3 cards in hand, 2 mana up, 3 cards in hand. I think they know about this Evo. We're in a position where I think we have to Evo away this Wall of Roots. Alright, and they counterspell it. Mismatching counterspells. Offensive. Alright, I'm going to let them do their thing. They're taking a little bit longer to play than I think they should, and I'm going to play to that a little bit. So I'm going to make them kill me. So I don't know if they're new to the client, or I don't know if they're just playing slowly, but in a competitive event, you play to your outs. We're going to besiege you one of their lands right now. Alright, we get a Steam Vents. We'll take the damage, and that will be it for game 1. Alright, we're on the play this game. Much better situation for us. We're going to bring in our Endurances, our Oozes, our Veil of Summers. And I wonder whether or not we bring in a Ratchet Bomb as well. Maybe not. Maybe a Thoughtseize. I like bringing in 6 cards in this matchup, so I think I'm going to bring in a Thoughtseize. We're going to shave Hierarchs, we're going to shave Evos, and we will submit with that. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Game 2, we're on the play. Much better situation. Much, much better. To whoever is joining this morning, what is up? I just checked. We got a couple people tuning in, so good to see you. If you're somebody I know, somebody I don't know, say hello. Currently down a game against Murktide. Round 1 of the Modern Challenge. We're going to be on the play this game. Our opening 7, we cannot keep this. We have to mulligan, unfortunately. This we can keep, so we will. I'll keep, and I think, I don't anticipate this bird living, but I think we want it in our hand. I think we might get rid of one of our Undyers. Maybe the Yawgmoth? No, maybe, yeah, I think we get rid of the Yawgmoth. Do it like this. Turn 1, start with a forest into our birds and pass the turn. If they lead on a turn 1 threat, let us have our bird, that would be nice. Alright, they do. Dragon's Rage and nothing else. Patron, interesting. Play out my Geist, play out my land. And the question is, do I attack? I think I will. Not. I think I will not. We'll just pass the turn. They could dash in a Ragavan, so I don't want that. Alright, so it looks like they're going to be tapping out on their turn. So if we draw into a land, if our bird survives, it's a big if. But if our bird survives, we will be in very good shape. We'll fetch, get a tomb. Alright, land drop off the top. We got there. Alright. We're in business. This is what I like to see. Alright, later to the Channeler. We drew another Yawg. I'm going to swing for 3 with the Geist. Alright, and they're really far on their back foot right now. So we can kind of just sit back. Next turn, if we still have our Yawg in play, Ooze or Hapatra are going to be really good against them. So I think we're in a pretty good position. Let's see what they do from here. They have to do something. They can't just let this be. Play out an Otawara. I think what we're going to do is bait with the Ooze this turn, and then play out our Hapatra, and then we'll just win from there. Yeah, we'll lead on the Ooze. This is going to eat a counter spell. It doesn't. Whoa. Okay. Do they have 5 cards in hand? How do they not? Okay. I'll attack for 3. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to play the Hapatra into a counter. So kind of weird. They didn't attack with the Shredder, and they're not blocking with the Shredder. I'm not exactly sure what the strategy is there in that respect. If they try to bolt the Ooze, I'm going to get it up to a 4/4. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. So they're assessing the situation here and realizing their Lightning Bolt will not do. They're tapping 1, casting a Consider, sure. Throwing their Ledger Shredder. Okay, put 2 cards into the graveyard. They can cast a Murktide if they have one. Another Consider into the graveyard. If we draw into another land, we'll be able to deal with the Murktide. They put Hearse, they have 3 card types. Another Dragon's Rage. Connive off the Shredder, still 3 card types, and this Dragon's Rage is going to die. Alright, yeah, you're not getting that. They will go up to 4 card types, so if they have another red source, they can kill my Yawg, but we'll just be able to cast another one. Cast a Fiery Islet. I think they're debating whether they want to heat the Ooze or the Yawgmoth. Or if, I guess they're casting a Murktide. Sure. This is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7/7, 6/6. Yeah, we can deal with that. I guess the question is from here, do we kill it with a Grist or do we kill it with a Hapatra? And they have one card in hand. Probably doesn't matter. Probably doesn't matter from here. I don't know if I want to feed the Shredder though. So I can fetch Dryad Arbor. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. There's our Grist. Go down to 13 here. Counter on our Geist. Minus our Grist. Kill the Murktide. And then we're gonna swing with the team. And if they block, I could just kill the Shredder. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. Yeah, I'll leave Yawgmoth back actually, just in case they have like a Ragavan. Alright, they take 7. They're down to 5. Things are looking up. So they'll have 3 cards in hand on their turn. Depending on what they do here, I might sacrifice the Geist to put a counter on the Shredder. We'll see how they play this. Alright, 3 card types. They're attacking into the Grist. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. This is a little risky. Alright, Innkeeper, not a bad draw. Alright, hit the Grist for 0. Unless they want to connive right now, which I think they're thinking about doing. And then they're going to tap out. Dress down. Okay. This is a little strange. Sure. Alright, so they'll kill my Grist, which really isn't the most important thing right now. They have 4 card types. Land. Pass the turn. Okay. They're at 5 life here. I think we just have lethal, depending on what they do. I can go... I mean, I have so many angles of attack here. Innkeeper... I can go Innkeeper into Hepatra. I mean, I guess they could have a counter spell up. I'm just going to lead on the bird. Minus the Dragon's Rage. We have 5 card types. Eat the Murktide. Eat the Dress Down. And attack. Okay, and they scoop. Alright, game 3. On the draw, I wonder if we shave a Thoughtseize and bring in like the Ratchet Bomb maybe? Or if that's not good enough. What's up, Duke? Good morning. Good morning. No, I think we'll keep in a Thoughtseize. Alright, this is going to be the game that matters. This is going to be the tough one. We got to get there. After this game, I will be taking my dog out, as he has arisen from his slumber, his hibernation. So I'll be taking a little break in between now and round 2. The 7, we can't keep this. We begin with 7, we're going to go down to 6. Alright, this we can keep. This is good. And I think we get rid of the Hierarch. This is a close one. Or the Besage. On the draw, I think Hierarch's the worst card. Alright, we'll see how this goes. Turn 1, Steam Vents. They shock themselves into a Dragon's Rage. Sure. Hopefully that's it. They have a Bauble? No Bauble. Okay, we're good with that. Dryad Arbor, not a good draw. We're going to fetch a basic here and play out our Yawgmoth, and then we will pass the turn. So, Dryad Arbor is always like the worst draw. That was like the way we could get like a turn 3 Yawgmoth into play. Alright, this is scary. This is very scary. We had a turn 3 Yawgmoth if we courted, got our Dryad Arbor, but instead, now, we don't have access to that line. I'm going to play out Twilight Mirror, and I'm going to use this Thoughtseize here and now. Kind of wish I kept that, oof, alright. Yeah, so we're definitely going to be needing an Endurance at some point, hopefully in the near future. The fact they have double Consider, I find it hard to believe these are not going to have Delirium next turn, so we're going to be taking a big hit. So we're really going to be needing an Endurance. What is up? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the clinic. I didn't catch your name, but thank you for the follow. Consider. Alright, they are up to 5 card types already. How did that happen? Jesus. So we know they have a land and a Consider in their hand. There are 4 cards. Casting another Consider. I'm not sure why they're doing this main phase unless they have a Murktide in hand. In which case, if they do, it is very bad news for us. Like, the combination of these cards is such an engine. It's brutal. There's a Bauble. Sure. Alright, so we know they have they played out the islands. They have 2 unknowns in hand. They leave a card on top. We're gonna take a hit for 6. We're gonna go down to 11. We're gonna, like, we need to draw an endurance here, otherwise we're gonna lose. And if they have a Murktide, we're just gonna lose, I think. Unless we pull a Grist off the top. Depending on what they do. They bobble me. Alright, so they know whatever we're drawing, and they don't do anything. This is no good. Oh, we drew the endurance. Alright, so we can endurance and cord into something as well. So endurance, ditch the Dryad Arbor, cord, get a 2-drop. I mean, the best case scenario would be endurance into another endurance, but we can't do that, unfortunately. That is not an option. All right, we'll play out our lands, and they are representing a counter spell. I guess I attack, unless they have a Ragavan, but I guess this takes us off of being able to cord, but I think I'm just hard casting this endurance. All right, during their upkeep. No. We're gonna do this during their draw step. I imagine this is getting countered regardless, but like during their upkeep, it filters their draw. During their draw step, it gives them an extra card to look at to be able to counter. I think we do this during the draw step. Kind of figured as much, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, we're going down to 5 life. We drew the card we needed, but we also need them not to have a counter spell off of those considers that they casted. They play a land and shock, and then this is a Murktide. So I think we're just dead regardless. I don't think we have an out from here. Unless they put these down to 1/1s and they can't get them back up. Like if that's the case, it's not. Okay. So they have a 6/6 Murktide and 2 3/3s. I think we're just dead. Yeah, we're accelerating through the versions here. I've been playing lists for like 5 matches at a time and then going on to the next one. So, all right, yeah, we can't beat this board state, so we will concede the game. Let's give a GG's to our opponent. And we are 0-1, unfortunately. Not a great start. Round 2, Modern Challenge. We are playing against House 565. We are on the play. Let's take it. My opponent just messaged me in the chat and says, turn 1 Goblin Guide, go. I don't know if they're saying that's what they're on, or what I'm on, or they're just clowning. This opening 7, I think is a little weak. I don't think that we can keep this. Like, we have more lands than we want for an entire game in our opener. I think we mulligan. Our 6, I think, is a keep. It's still not great, but we'll run with it. We'll see how this goes. They mulligan to 6 cards as well. So this would be a situation if our Hapatra was a draw, so it would probably be better here. All right, play out our Hierarch or Bird, Hierarch or Bird. I think we're gonna play out our Bird first and pass the turn. I feel bad for this guy. I feel bad for him if he is playing a Goblin Guide. Yeah, that would be unfortunate. They play out a Bloodstained Mire. Let's see if their chat correspondence is accurate based on what they said a few moments ago. Stomping Ground. It does not seem so. Lightning Bolt. I guess there were burn lists that were at one point playing a green splash. Whether or not that's what this is, I don't know, but we'll see. That might have been a mistake. I played out, I didn't really think that through. I was playing that out because that's the most mana efficient play, but if we don't hit another land drop, I think we want the Hierarchs in play. Ooh, they don't do anything. Okay. So that is bad for them. We'll play out a Catacombs, and I think I'm going to play these out pre-combat so we can buff the Hapatra and trigger the Hapatra. And if they have, I mean, if they have something like a Fury, that's going to be really bad, but they bolt the Hierarch. Interesting. I guess they don't care about Hapatra. We'll attack for 2, and then I'm going to trigger the Hapatra targeting my Yawgmoth, and we're going to go a little wide here. Yes, get our 1/1. All right, we got a little bit of a board state here. We're doing things. I only have 1 card in hand. They have 5. If they do start hitting their land drops, like, Just seeing this opener leads me to think that there's probably Wrenn and 6 in the deck. Alright, they just pass again. I wonder if this is like creativity we're playing against. Alright, Chord is a pretty good draw. I wonder if we just Chord for 3 right now, or if I hold that for a Yawg. I think we hold it for a Yawg. Once again, playing out the ignoble pre-combat. Oh, actually that's a mistake, because it doesn't matter if we trigger the Exalted. A few mistakes here in the early going. This is their 3rd bolt, and with that, I'm gonna get a Grist here. I think that's better than swinging with these guys. Sure. We're inside of combat, so we're not gonna be able to attack, but we'll plus our Grist and pass the turn. All right, opponent, what you got? Doesn't feel like a land. They're hesitating. Oh, they got a land. Okay, so this is creativity. So they need like 3 or 4 lands in a row for this to work out for them in any semblance, but I actually think they're dead next turn. Grist Ultimate's going to hit them for 6. So I think this is actually lethal next turn if they don't do anything. They're at 9. Alright. Hit me with your best shot. What you got? I don't really want them to hit me with their best shot, but if they need to address this Grist if they want to get another turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our attack is for 7. Definitely not the way you draw it up with this deck. Kind of strange they had 3 lightning bolts in their opener. This is definitely a matchup we can still lose. I don't think we're losing this game per se, but this can be it's a very powerful strategy. So, all right, there's the Wrenn and 6. Assumed they had that. Let's see if they... Okay, they kill our Death Toucher, sure. Alright, they're super dead. And they scoop. Okay. Next card was an Evo too, so we would have had a Yawg there. Alright, game 2. We're going to bring in Necromentias and Ratchet Bombs. A Ratchet Bomb. Maybe an Endurance. I'm going to read the text on Archon if it targets. I might bring in my Veil of Summers here. Whenever Archon of Cruelty enters the battlefield or attacks, target opponent sacrifices a creature. Okay. So for that, I might be bringing in Veil of Summers here. We're going to bring in the Might. And those are maybes. In this matchup, I board out the Innkeeper. I board out a Wolf. I'm going to board out some number of birds. I like Grist. I don't love a play set of Chords. And I think we'll bring in 1 Veil of Summer. So we'll go with this. And I think on the draw, actually, I'm going to shave 3 birds. And we're going to go up to 2 Veil of Summer. Oh, that's a 61 card list. What did I just do? I don't know how I wound up at 61 cards, but I guess we will make do. We will make do. It does target, yes. Can't keep this opener. A lot of mulligans so far. We're only 2 rounds in. I think we've mulliganed all but 1 hand. Yes. All right. Going down to 5. All right, we will keep our 5. This kind of looks similar to the hand we had in game 1. We're gonna get rid of our Yawgmoth and we're gonna get rid of our Hapatra, I think, and we'll run with this. So this hand sets us up to deal with the turn 2 Wrenn and 6, which it's nice. So we play out our Hierarch. They Wrenn and 6 down our Hierarch. We can swing it down with the Geist. All right, there's a Bolt. It's reminiscent of last game here. Play a Steam Vents untapped. Interesting. All right, we drew all of our Wall of Roots here. I'm going to fetch Shock and get a Wall of Roots into play. I guess they're representing like either a Spell Pierce or another removal spell, but that doesn't matter too much. Our best draw at this point, I think, is a Chord of Calling, just because we have so many Wall of Roots here. All right, they do not have a 3rd land. They're going to ice our land down. So if we draw a land, we'll still be able to pretty much empty our hand out. Play out our 2nd Wall of Roots. We'll play out our Dryad Arbor, pass the turn. Let's see if they drew themselves into a land here. The next turn we can go... Right, they still don't have a land. Wow. Yeah, so we'll be... I wonder if they have another Fire Ice. They do. All right, Cool. Doesn't really matter too much with what we have as it stands. That was a good draw. All right, so we're gonna go 1, 2, another Wall of Roots, 1, 2, a Strangleroot Geist, and then we have our cord up for a Yawgmoth here. And I wonder here, like they're not really threatening us, so I think I'm going to, like if I don't attack with that Geist, it tells them that I have a Cord of Calling. I don't want to telegraph that. And they could also have like Spell Pierce, so I'm gonna wait for this. Fire Ice, they definitely have played it. I guess a lot of creativity lists have been moving towards Jund, so a lot of those lists aren't running Fire Ice. All right, there's a Fable, it's fine. But like the older lists, when they were Jeskai or 4-color, they all ran Fire Ice, pretty standard. All right. Endurance is fine. So here we're gonna make use of our walls. I think I'm actually gonna leave. No, we'll use our walls. We'll cord for 4, get ourselves a Yawgmoth, and then from here, we're gonna start going crazy. First, we're gonna get rid of this this token. Okay, land, not terrible. I'm going to attack for 3, I think, to start with. Let's see if they block. If they want to block, they're welcome to. They don't. All right, second main, we're going to add a green, dump the Dryad Arbor, second Endurance, second Yawgmoth. So I can Endurance my graveyard back to put the Dryad Arbor back into the deck, which I think is reasonable, but I don't think we necessarily need to do that. I think I'm just going to play my land and pass. I honestly don't think I really need to force anything here. Like, we have Archon covered in a couple of different ways. As long as they can't kill our Yawg, like if they make a token, a dwarf, we'll be able to kill that. If they're trying to reanimate, we have our Endurances up. So they're not really doing much here. We actually have double Endurance up because of our Wall of Roots. So I think they're going to be a little disappointed here. This feels like we're getting the win. 1, 2, 3. Brotherhood's End. Okay, I was not expecting that one, but we're going to draw quite a few cards off of this. A Patron, not bad. And I suppose if we just draw into like a Blood Artist, like, or a cord for a Blood Artist, that would be decent as well. Veil of Summer, okay. I'll go down to 10 here. I'd love to see another land at some point as well. Okay, there's a land. Last one here. We're at 9 life. We'll let this resolve. Sure. We shall see what they do from here. If they have a bolt, they can kill our Yawg, which is not the end of the world here. We fetch, Arid Mesa, get a Dwarven Mine. You have a 1/1. I think a bolt is coming down the pipeline. And from here, I'm just debating, do I play out my Endurance, sacrifice it, kill the dwarf? Or do I just let this happen? I think I just let this happen. I don't think we need to rush into anything here. All right. Play out our Endurance, shuffle their graveyard. Play out our other Endurance. Oh, tap my mana wrong. We're going to shuffle our graveyard back so we can get our Dryad Arbor back in the deck. Okay, from here, play out our Yawg. I'm going to leave with an attack. Start there. Put them down to 2. See if they want to block. I imagine not. Our life total is getting a little low, but I think that's fine. Unless they have a bunch of bolts in their hand. If they have 3 bolts, we die. They have the Reflection. They have the Dwarf. They can Creativity for 2, but we'll be able to shut them off of that line. So we got the win. 2-0 against Creativity, or 1-1. All right. Round 3 of the Modern Challenge. We're currently 1-1 playing against Starchey. We are on the play. I think we're on the play. We're going to take it. Opening 7, solid. We'll keep this. I think a Patra's been in every one of my openers up to this point. Feels like it, at least. Let's see how this goes. I like this hand. It's a little low on power level, but it has some pretty high potential. And it's not really super dependent on my mana dork, so if they do die, we'll still be able to execute a plan. So it's, I guess, a little more resilient than some of the hands we've had in the past. It's definitely better on the play than on the draw as well. Our opponent's thinking. All right, they keep a 7-card hand. Let's go. Turn 1 plays out for us here. Get our Hierarch into play, pass the turn, and we'll see what they are doing on the other side of the table. Starchey. I guess that's Starchey, not Starchey. Okay, they lead on Saga. Right off the bat, that makes me think Amulet Titan. So we'll see if I'm correct. A drum. Okay. Ornithopter. Okay, so they're playing Hammertime, I guess. They have a Sigardazade. They do not. Okay, so Hapatra is going to be really good depending on what they do here. So I'm going to fetch basic. I think we're going to get the basic swamp here. And I'm going to go Innkeeper into Hapatra. Green, black, Hapatra. And Hapatra or Innkeeper should gain us quite a bit of life depending on what they do here. We'll see what their turn 2 looks like. I guess if they have a land drop, they will be able to activate the Saga, which will kind of stink because it will be bigger than our Hapatra. So we'll see what they do here. And if we draw into a Yawgmoth, it's just going to be game over. Like we have the machine gun here, so do they not have another land? They don't. Wow. This feels like a Stoneforge. See which creature they tap. Yeah, there's a Stoneforge. We will be able to get rid of that, so we are going to do so. And they are priced into blocking our Hapatra with the Sentinel. And they get a hammer. Interesting. I really wanted to draw a Yawgmoth there. All right, so we're going to lead on an attack with the Hapatra. See who they block with. I would imagine they block with the Stoneforge. If they don't, okay, so to me this says that there's the possibility they actually have a Cauldron in hand. So I think I'm actually going to play with that in mind. And I'm gonna grist down the Stoneforge here. I'm going to play out the Catacombs just in case. All right, we're going to sacrifice the Hierarch. So they're going to be without lands here. They have the drum. They add a mana. See what they're doing on their turn here. Get a second drum. They have a second creature, is the question. I didn't realize they ran more than one drum. All right, a Gingerbrute, sure. So they will be able to kill our Grist if they so choose. And then we'll be able to kill the Gingerbrute on the Crackback. Okay, they're not attacking. 2 mana. I wonder if this is like a Paladin. And for us, drawing into... Okay, there's a hammer. If we draw into a Evo, a Yawgmoth, or a Cord, I think they're just dead. All right, we're gonna fetch out our Dryad Arbor here. It's not really a reason for us not to. It's definitely a card we don't want to draw. It gains us life with the Innkeeper. It offsets the fetch land there. Gives us an extra body. Not what we wanted. All right, so we're gonna lead with an attack. We'll swing with the Hapatra here. They are priced into blocking, I'm pretty sure. We'll see if they have a blacksmith skill. That will suck, but they don't. Oh, they do. What is this? Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, so there goes Hapatra. We're gonna plus our Grist. I'm gonna play out the Peatland. And I'm going to draw a card off the Peatland here. Another land. All right, we're flooding out a little bit here. It's interesting they chose to put the Theft on the Ornithopter as opposed to the hammer on the Ornithopter instead of the Gingerbrute. Like the way that they sequenced their previous turn. All right, there's another Saga. They have another mana now, which I think they needed pretty desperately. Yeah, Magnetic Theft, definitely not a card I was playing around. I think they're probably priced into attacking with this Ornithopter here. They have 3 cards in hand. Having this Grist online is really, really important for us as it stands, because obviously we don't have anything else going on. I really wasn't expecting our Hapatra to die there, but what are you going to do? All Alright, they're going to attack. I imagine it will be Ornithopter only. Attacking us. Okay. We'll block. Preserve our life total a little bit here. Shadow Spear. Okay. Can't equip that right now. Oh, I did not mean to cast... that's so annoying. I guess that's fine, though. That's kind of... That's what we wanted. They have 2 cards in hand. I think we're going to get rid of this Ornithopter. So I think our Grist is going to die here. We can't let them Shadow Spear the Ornithopter. It will just kill our Grist anyway, so I think Grist is going away. Sacrifice. We're going to get rid of the Dryad Arbor, kill the Ornithopter. They're thinking. Thinking. And their best draw, they need to get like a Paladin online. And you yield through the turn after this. I guess they have a Blacksmith skill. Okay, so this is really bad for us. They have 1 card in hand. Yeah, I'm not going to block, so I might as well attack here. I mean, it's nice that our life total is a little bit higher, but definitely not great that we're going to be taking a hit for at least 11. So I guess our out here is another Grist. But if we Grist this down, it's going to die to the Ginger Brute. We're at 11. Yawgmoth? Okay, got a Yawgmoth. It at least counts for something. So Yawg will allow us to start chipping this down and proliferating. So that will be good. So we'll take a hit for, we'll at least still be alive. See what they do from here. Okay, 3 on the Saga. They add a mana. I don't think they have a Pithing Needle in the deck, so we can still win this game depending on what they drew into and depending on what they have in their hand. Adding mana and thinking. Another Ornithopter, sure. Another Drum, sure. They have 3 drums. And now if they have like Paladin into Hammer, we'll just die, which is what this feels like. There's the Paladin. And if that's what this is, like if they cast a Hammer, okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, sure. So this is a hit for 11. I'm gonna preserve my life total a little bit. And I think what we're gonna do is put a counter on this and proliferate this. Blocks don't really matter because it is trample. So no blocks here. Okay, add a mana. Minus. Best draw here is an Undyre. Okay, we're in the mix. And we will proliferate. So if we draw another Undyre, we'll win the game. Let's see if we can pull this one off. We are down to 2 life. They're hellbent. They're at 39. Alright. Go deck. We need an Undyre in 2 cards. Okay, they're switching over to the Ginger Brute here. I don't think they moved the Shadow Spear. I don't think that makes sense. Keep thinking about it though. So we have quite a few outs. So if we get an Evo, a Chord, another Undyre, we win the game with any and all of those cards. All right, can we do it? All right, that's an extra draw at least. So we're gonna add 2 green here. We'll start with the Yawgmoth. And maybe I should have left a black mana up. All right, we'll minus here. Quite a few draws to make this happen. Let's see. All right, Blood Artist, not terrible. Kind of represents an extra draw. Just debating whether I play out the Blood Artist right now or not. I think I will. Save targets, always yield. All right, there's a bird. There's an Evo, which is a card late. Yeesh, I don't know if we're doing this. We need land into Yawgmoth. There's a land. All right, Yawgmoth, let's go. Not what we wanted. All right, do we still have outs here? I don't know if we do. Oh, I guess we can kill the Ornithopter and then they can't equip the Ginger Brute. Is that our line? We'll shock, yes. Yes, they need a land to be able to equip this Ginger Brute. So maybe that's how we win this game. So if they draw into a land, I lose. I think we just have to kill this right now. Yeah, I think we have to, as much as I don't want to. So we're going to lose our Blood Artist, unfortunately. Oh wait, this Ginger Bruce, it might get haste. So if they draw land either way, so I should have saved that Yawgmoth. That was a mistake. They got a land. Okay, we lose. We lose. That was unfortunate. I felt like we had one more turn to get back into that. It was a very close game. Alright, we're going to bring in our Ratchet Bomb, our Force of Vigors, Necroplasm's a maybe, and our Might. I don't know if we need the Necroplasm. We're going to shave an Endurance, shave a Grist, shave some Walls. I feel like we probably don't need our Necroplasm. Necroplasm's fine. We'll shave on the Ratchet Bomb, maybe. And then... Oop, I like Innkeeper. I think we get rid of another wall. And go with this 60. Maybe, no, a Yawgmoth and we'll keep a wall. Okay, I just have to keep in mind I have Necroplasm in the deck, so... that is an out. That was a very close game. Very, very close game. This matchup does get better post-board, though. So I think we're okay. I wonder if we shave the other Endurance and bring in the Ratchet Bomb. Just as like insurance. Maybe that's the move. Just to have more interaction. I'm gonna fill up my coffee before this next game. BRB. Alright, still waiting for our opponent? Okay, Starchey's back. We will be on the play, yes. And we will most definitely keep this opening 7. Yes, please. Turn 1, they kept a 7-card hand as well. We're going to fetch and play out our bird. And we will pass the turn after that. So we want to draw land and a green card. Those are the 2 cards we want to see in our next couple of draw steps. Basic Plains into Sigarda's Age. Let's see if they have a 0-drop. No 0-drop, okay. So we're good for a turn at least. And that was a good one. Alright, so we're going to have our metaphorical pants down for a turn. Because we can't cast our Force of Vigor. But next turn, we will have them pulled back up. Swing for 2, pass the turn. As long as we don't die this turn, which I don't think we can, we should be golden here. Yawgmoth, sure. Into a Stoneforge, sure. Let's see if they get a Cauldron. They do. So we'll be killing this Stoneforge. That's a decent draw. They don't have a way to protect it either. Here's Yawg. We're going to draw a couple cards. Hopefully we can find another land and a green card. Alright, there's a green card and a land. Not the land we wanted. Okay, we're going to wait here. We're going to lead with an attack. Start there. See if they block. They do not. As expected. Minus our Geist. We're going to kill this Stoneforge. Evos. There's our green card. So we kind of got everything we wanted. So I can play Besage You into Might, I think is good. So we kind of have them covered from all angles here. We can Might the Aid, we can Force a Vigor. We have Yawgmoth online. We actually don't have a second black source if they kill this Yawgmoth to be able to cast our next one. Flooded Strand, 1 mana. 1 mana again. There's a Relic. Sure. Can have a Relic. Burning Catacombs. Okay, so there's our second black source. From here we can get ourselves a Hapatra. They do have a Flooded Strand up. I think they're running Blue Splash, so they could have counter magic. I don't necessarily know that we need to do that. I think we lead on an attack and then play out our Dryad Arbor. We essentially have them on a 2-turn clock. Play out Dryad Arbor. I wonder if I just Evo into our Hapatra right now. Seems fine. No, we'll play around counter magic. They'll fetch down to 8, so on board 2, 5, 6, 7. We have 7, then we can proliferate, so we do have lethal on board. There's the Sacred Foundry. Dump our Verdant Catacombs. See if they draw a card off this Relic here. They do. Okay, this is fine. We have so many different points of interaction, I'm not too concerned. Like, even if they have a blacksmith skill, I don't think that they have enough to really play around everything that we have. Yeah, and they scoop. It was a pretty dominant game too. So going to game 3, and I think we keep the same 60 here. Maybe Wolf back, Geist gone. Probably should have had that configuration in that first game. I kind of want another wall as well. So I wonder if we shave another Wolf. Wolf is nice as a chump blocker, but I think that's about all it's good for. In the early game at least. Right, we have our Ratchet Bomb and 3 Yawgmoths. This hand is interesting. They keep a 7-card hand. If they have like a really explosive start, this hand's probably not great. This one's interesting. So if we pop our Ratchet Bomb, we're probably popping it for 1. Turtles, this is round 3, game 3. We're playing against Hammertime right now. This hand's going to be really, really close. We do get a draw step as well. I think I'm going to keep this, and we'll see how this one goes. Turn 1 giver, sure. All right, so not the scariest turn 1 there. Land is good. Get our birds into play and pass the turn. Our best draw from here is a 1-drop. Maybe like a wolf is probably our best draw at this point. So the hope is we can get our Ratchet Bomb into play next turn. And then Yawg the following turn, sack our birds, minus something. All right, there's a Cigar to Z, that's not good. So this is a hit. I think we're gonna take this one. There's a hammer, sure. A little scary. All right, so that was a good draw. Good draw-ish. No, that was good. That gives us a chump blocker here. So we can potentially get our Yawg into play next turn. There's a Ratchet Bomb, good. Ratchet Bomb wipes their board. As long as they don't have like a Pithing Needle. See what they can do. Flooded Strand. Attack. So if they have Shadow Spear, we'll just lose here. Pray for no Shadow Spear. Alright, they don't have it. Good. Good, good. Another giver. This is weird that they're doing this. Because they're playing into our Ratchet Bomb. Very strange. Fetch, get ourselves a Yawg. They might have a piece of interaction here. We'll see if they do. Okay, Yawg is in play. I'm gonna minus here. And from here, I wonder if I just pop the bomb now. They fetch. Get a basic, okay. I guess if they have like double blacksmith skill, that would be problematic. All right, we'll pop the bomb now. See what they have. Oh, wow. All right, that worked out okay. Thank God I brought this card in. They have 3 cards in hand and they scoop. I don't know why they played out that second giver. That was strange. That was strange. Okay, there it is, Sparky. We are on the play. We are currently 2-1. Let's give it a go. Opening 7, solid. We're gonna keep this. I like it. I'm almost like at a point where it feels like I'm expecting to mulligan because I've been mulliganing so much. So it's nice to keep a decent opening hand. They kept their 7. We're gonna lead on our marsh into our bird and pass the turn. Turn 1 on their part. Let's see what they got. Verdant Catacombs. Could it be a mirror match? Possibly. Okay, we got a mirror match. We're on the play, which is a big, big advantage. Another marsh, not bad. I'm gonna play out my wolf and pass the turn from here. And we'll have a Yawgmoth next turn, so we're in pretty good shape, I think. Regardless of what they do, so even if they cast a Grist and try to kill our birds, we'll still have Yawgmoth. There's a Wall of Roots, good. Green, we have 5 cards in hand. Into a Geist, sure. We're gonna take a hit for 2 with this Geist. Okay, no hit for 2. We're gonna core DOT. We're gonna ramp a little bit here. I think this is fine. Get our Dryad Arbor, untap. So we have a kill next turn. We'll see what they have going on. Play out our Yawg to start with. Gonna Yawg down the bird. And then from here, another Evo. Not great. We have 4 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if I draw another card. Thinking about it here. We back. Got the mirror. what to do here. So next turn, I think I'm just going to play out the tomb tapped and pass the turn. Sure. Caleb, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Congrats on your finish last week. All right. They're turn 3. We'll see if they have... So if they have an Evo, they have a land drop too, so they can just... Okay, here's a Grist. A little unfortunate. They're going to activate there. We're going to dump the Geist, I think. So we're going to draw some cards here. Okay, land isn't terrible. So we're going to make them choose. Okay, and we drew into another Yawgmoth, so this is fine. All right, let them sacrifice, make their move. See if they want to get rid of the wall or the Geist. They get rid of the wall. Protecting the Grist here, which makes sense. They fetch, basic, Hierarch, sure. They have 2 cards in hand. A little tight on mana from their perspective. And here, we can go Innkeeper into Yawg, which I think is good. So we'll do that. Innkeeper, 4 mana, Yawg number 2. And then I think we're going to kill the Hierarch here. We'll keep them off that extra mana, keep our life total where it is, and then once again, we have a kill next turn, so we'll see what they do. Feels like we have some pretty good insulation. Like, we've generated so much value off of Yawg already this game, so... Alright, yeah, we just have... I think we just have the win from here. I don't think there's going to be too much they can do from this point. Okay, and they scoop. We got there. Excited to watch me crush this challenge. I hope so. I hope so. That's the game plan here. Sideboarding. We're going to bring in our Ooze. We're on the draw. I'm not going to bring in our Necros on the draw. I am going to bring in Veil of Summer. And I think an Endurance. I think that's all we want. Maybe Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is like a... I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love it. Yeah, let's go with these 4 here. And then in terms of cards we're shaving, I like to shave a Wolf, a Geist, a Wall, and a Bird. Bunch of 1s. And we'll go with this. On the draw now. Yeah, we're rocking the Shieldred in the main deck. This hand is too slow. We're not going to be able to keep this. I only have 3 Evos in the main deck, but this is like a prime example of why I only play 3, because when you draw more than 1, it just feels terrible. They're mulliganing. We're going to follow suit. Alright, our 6 is kind of slow, but I think it's a keep. They put a card on the bottom. I don't feel great about this, but I think we're going to keep this, and we're going to put a Viseiju back. Let's see what they have. Best case scenario for us is they go like turn 1 Bird into turn 2 Necro, which they're not doing. Alright, just play a land and pass turn. So we have a turn 3 Yawg, regardless of what they do. Alright, Tomb, I guess they're probably playing out a wall this turn, if I had to guess. Patra. Yikes. Yikes, a Patra. Ah, 2 can play that game. I guess the question is, do we play out our Hapatra, or do we play out our Innkeeper? I think we're going to follow their lead and play out our Hapatra here. Hey, what's up? Runker, if I'm saying that correctly, what's up, what's up? Thanks for joining us today, and I appreciate the kind words. Alright, we're just going to run our Hapatras into each other. I will take that trade. Yes. We have 4 cards in hand. An Innkeeper. Oh, we're just copying each other here, back and forth. Alright, Yawgmoth is a really good draw. So we have Innkeeper into Yawgmoth, and we also have our Veil of Summer up in case of emergency. So they do have a Yawg on their next turn, and we'll see how they choose to use it. Dryad Arbor, not great. Have to imagine they're casting a Yawgmoth here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yawg. Okay, makes sense. And they play their Yawg, they pass the turn. A little strange they're not dumping our Innkeeper here. That's not a terrible draw. This game is so weird, it's like we're literally just doing the same thing back and forth. And from here, I think I'm actually going to draw a card with the hopes of hitting a land drop. Drawing into something like an Endurance would be reasonable as well. Alright, we got our land drop. Very, very good. I'm going to fetch, get a basic, and we're going to chord here. And now they're priced into trying to kill my Innkeeper, which is going to open them up. Okay, cool. Cool, cool. All right, we're going to draw some cards. So they're killing my Innkeeper in response, which is what I was referring to earlier. And from here, I think we're just going to sacrifice it and draw a card. So they will not get a card off of that. And now that what they can do is they could target my wolf in response to like this target to cut me off of a card. But appears they're not doing that. So depending on what they do next turn, as long as we get our Shieldred into play, we'll just win the game from there. All right, we'll keep that 7 and then we'll pass the turn. So it feels like we're pretty far ahead. I am giving them an opportunity having a little extra mana here. We'll see what they have. They have 3 cards. This feels like a Geist maybe. There's a Geist, okay. Geist into a Patron's in the graveyard, a Cord, sure. Cord for 1. Yawgmoth, sure. I think they're going to follow suit, doing what I did on my last turn. But they're going to, they will just be dead on the following turn. I guess they still have a land drop here, but unless they pull like 3 endurances or 2 endurances, they're not going to be able to actually kill me. Filling up their hand here. Okay, there's their land drop. Not exactly sure what they're looking for, or just looking to get up to a 7-card hand. Okay, and they'll pass the turn from here, and I think they're going to be pretty disappointed to see Shieldred come into play. So I'm going to lead on the Verdant. I'm going to fetch out my basic swamp, and then from here, I think we lead Yawgmoth into Shieldred, and then from here, we'll just have infinite life, and we can also Cord for a Blood Artist, which they will not really effectively be able to answer. And they're like, oh crap, what is going on right now? Oh crap. All right. So I'm gonna give them an opportunity, but they're not gonna get many draws here. All right, so basically every activation they make from this point forward is going to cost them 3 life. They're targeting my Blood Artist. Save targets here. Oh! I did not mean for that to happen then and there. That was a mistake. I clicked through it. I meant to sacrifice and get another trigger here. That was a mistake. Alright, so we have infinite life here. So we can just draw our deck at this point. They can't do anything about it. So we can actually just get our Blood Artist back this turn. Let me ask them. Loop, scoop. I don't actually anticipate they will, but we'll see if they do. As we can just endurance our graveyard back in, Cord for Blood Artist all over again, and then just kill them. So I'm explaining to my opponent how I win this. And they say, okay, seems good. GG's. Cool. So I've been watching your content. Big fan of my content. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. And good games to you, Sparky. We are 3-1. On the play, this is round 5 of the Modern Challenge, playing against Tulio Jaudy. Let's go. Opening 7 is medium, but I think this is a keep. It's good enough for us to keep. We'll see what they do. If you click !deck, I believe you should be able to pull up the list there. The Stream Deck, I updated the Stream Decker before this stream, so it should be good to go, unless Stream Decker is down for some reason. All right, they're carefully considering their opening hand here. Yeah, 3 Grist. 3 Grist to make room for Shieldred. Yeah, everything that you see in that list, NJ, is the reason why I'm running this configuration is because of how aggressive the format is right now. So whether or not it's correct, I don't know, but Grist is definitely worse in a really aggressive metagame, and Shieldred is obviously pretty strong, and Shieldred put in some work in our last round, so felt good. I guess it was a post-board game, so it didn't really matter, but all right, waiting on our opponent here. Anybody know how Zerk is doing? They were undefeated last time I saw. But that was only after round 2, so probably XO. Probably. Most likely. Still waiting. See if our opponent shows up here. I mean, I'd love to play some games, but I wouldn't be too upset if we got a win in the X1 bracket this deep into the event. You know, sure you want to earn it, but you take those, as they say. It says they joined the game, yes, but I think it does that automatically. Yeah, I'm looking at the match log right now. It says, I began the game with 7 cards in hand, and they have not done anything. They have not made a decision on their hand as of yet. It is very possible a meteor hit their house. I heard that happen sometimes. Because it's the challenge NJ, it just automatically cues you into the match, so I don't know that it works that way. Yeah, you don't have to actually like click on anything to get into the match. It just pushes you into it once the timer goes off. Our hand is okay. It's okay. It's lacking a little bit like top end power, but if we draw, like it's nice that it ramps. Depending on what they're playing, endurance can be really good. So it's not bad. We have a peatland redraw if we need it. So it's definitely a keep, but it's just like, okay, we do need to draw into something at some point, depending on what they're doing. Yeah, we do need the business, as they say, in the business. Still waiting, 5 minutes off the clock for our opponent. Necroplasm was, I played it last night. Okay, they're in. They kept their 7. Okay, yeah, they're good. All right, so we're gonna lead turn 1 Verdant, fetch, basic, get our Hierarch into play. Last night I played out a Necroplasm against the mono red 8 blast deck, the one Caleb played last week. I don't know if Caleb's still with us here or not. And I had back-to-back turns where I wiped construct tokens and then wiped 3 or 4 1-drops off the board. All right, so we're playing against Merfolk here. So we need to find a Yawgmoth. That's not a bad draw. We're gonna shock here. And we'll get our Grist into play. Not a bad draw. We would have liked to have that Evo, but you gotta do what you gotta do. There was an argument to play Wall into Blood Artist on that turn. Double Bile, yikes. Ramping with style. All right, so from here, we're gonna start with an attack. I actually think it might be correct. I think we're gonna try to get our endurance into play, so I don't think we're gonna play out the Blood Artist yet. So I'm gonna swing for 2. And then on our next turn, we're definitely going to need to draw into something, because they're gonna have quite a board state, I would imagine. Here goes a Chord. All right, we're milling all of our good cards into our graveyard here. We'll play out our fetch land. We will pass the turn. All right, so they have 2 and 1. We're gonna get a basic swamp, I think, with our Verdant. And I think we'll endurance these cards back into our deck. I think these are cards we want to draw, so we'll put those back in. Yeah, so to summarize the question that was asked with regards to Necroplasm, it basically got me like a 5-for-1 yesterday over the course of 2 turns, so felt pretty good there. See what they do. Best draw, obviously, a Yawgmoth from here, or something that gets us a Yawgmoth. 2 mana, Silver Gill. They have a Merfolk of the Pearl Trident that they have revealed. All right, we'll fetch, get our swamp like I had mentioned, get our endurance into play, and we're gonna put all these guys back. No creatures there, so it didn't really affect how we used our Grist. And as long as this resolves, this is really, really good. The only way that they can stop this is if they have a Merfolk off the 2 and the 1. So I think we're in pretty good shape here. I'm gonna lead with an attack. Okay, I think that's not good for my opponent. Harbinger bounces. Okay, yeah, this is pretty good for us. I'm gonna uptick the Grist to start with. We're gonna Evo the Wall. As long as they don't have a Force of Negation, which I don't think most lists play in the main deck, we are going to be in very good shape here. And it's almost better that the Endurance is in our hand here. This is actually not a bad thing. So we'll dump the Silver Gill to start here. Save targets, auto yield, yes. We'll draw a card. Like this endurance actually represents an extra card. I think we'll go down one more here. Wall of Roots. We're gonna dump this. Kind of want to draw a 1-drop here. Okay, no 1-drop, but I think we're pretty far ahead. I suppose if they have a Dismember, that would kind of stink, but not the end of the world. If they have a Dismember, we'll likely draw into an extra card with our Hierarch. I'll sacrifice that. Maybe even the Blood Artist too. Just see if we can find another Yawgmoth. Alright, if they're just passing the turn here, this is pretty good for us. We have Endurance as a flash threat up. We draw, bump our Grist, another Evo into the graveyard. Alright, we're going to play out our Wall of Roots. We'll play out a Hierarch. Then I'm going to swing for 4 with the Yawg. And then play out the Peatland. And we can actually turn off their Vials here too, which is pretty nice. With a Proliferate, so we can kind of mess up what they're trying to do. So we'll see if they play around that or not. We'll get rid of the Tomb here. Oops, do you have a Subtlety? And we're going to leave the other one on 2. Alright, do you have a 4-drop? They do, okay. Okay, got a 4-drop. I wonder if we want this top or bottom. I think we'll put this on top. I think we're fine with that. We're going to play out the Peatland, and I think we'll just pass the turn back. So they have one more turn of use with their Vials until we can just like kind of proliferate it away. So we can draw with the Peatland, we can put the Hierarch into our hand. There's the Master, sure. We can deal with that. And we can flash in our Endurance as well, if we want to. I think I probably will. So they have a 3-drop and a 4-drop up. If they activate the 3, I'm going to kill the Master in response, I think. Because they can put out the Seulvin, or whatever the card is called. And then that would give their creatures ward. Otawara. Okay, so they have 2 cards in hand. Yeah, we're going to dump this Master. I wonder, do I evoke the Endurance, or do I just dump the Hierarch? I think I just dump the Hierarch here. Kill the Master, keep them off of, just keep them off of like a critical mass of threats here. Yeah, that's a good draw. We're okay with this happening, sure. And now if they attack with this Subtlety, we'll see if they forgot about my Endurance. They did not. Play out our Endurance. And do we have anything in the graveyard worthwhile? Not really. We're just going to leave it. Just have our Grist Ultimate up. 2 creature cards. Yeah, no, I don't think that's the move there that we want to. I don't think that's the line we want to take. So if they have another Subtlety, they can bounce my Yawg again. But I think we force the issue here. And if they don't, it's a 3-drop. Okay, what you got? Okay, Mimic, sure. What's the text on this one? Enter the battlefield, copy, except it's a rogue. Okay, we'll top that. So we're just pretty close to lethaling them at this point, depending on what they have. So I think I play out my Geist. Minus, so they'll lose 2 down to 6, down to 4. How many cards are in the graveyard? 2 creatures. Yeah, I think we'll sacrifice the Geist here. We're going to kill the Subtlety. Stack here. And then we're going to swing for 3 with the Endurance, I think. I think we actually just swing with 6. Just put the pressure on. And like outside of this Subtlety, they can't really attack into us because like, okay, they just scoop. Good. Good. All right, Ratchet Bomb I think is pretty good here. Haywire Might is decent. Necroplasm is slow, but I think acceptable. Don't love Ooze, and I think we're bringing in a Force of Vigor. This matchup's a little scarier on the draw for sure. We're going to shave a Cord and an Evo, and I think a Wall of Roots, maybe 2. Wall of Roots and an Endurance, and we'll submit like that. All right, up a game. See if we can work our way up to a 4-1 record. I feel pretty good if we were in that position. We'd have to win 2 more. 2 more to top 8. Doable. Very doable. You shave 1 endurance or 2 endurance. This opening 7 is acceptable. They're mulliganing down to 6. I usually like to keep 1 endurance in the list just because of the tricks that it can provide. So I do still have 1 in the list here. It's just like a really good utility creature. They're mulliganing down to 5. Might be tough for them here. So we have turn 1 bird, turn 2 Geist or Grist, depending on what the move is there. And then turn 3 Yawgmoth. Okay, they keep a 5-card hand. We'll see if they have a Vial here. They do. Okay, so they're going to be riding that pretty hard. I have to stop talking. The things I'm saying right now are just like between what I was saying during our draft and just now. Vial is going to be very important and integral to their game plan. It is an important card. And I think because they're going to be slow to develop this game, I think I might actually play out the Grist. All right, they have a Hex Catcher. That's good to know about. I think we're going to play out the Grist before we play out. That actually changes things. So we're going to fetch Shock here. I don't love the life loss, but I think I'm kind of priced into doing this here. And next turn, you know the deal. We're going to keep the Geist back here. They're up to 2 on the Vial, 3 cards in hand. They have the Hex Catcher. Crunch. Grafdigger's Cage, sure. Creature cards in graveyards. Players can't cast creatures. Okay. Yeah, so that does shut off our Undying. I still think it's reasonable to block here. Maybe, maybe not. No, it does not shut off their Vial, but I think they're a critical mass deck. I think we're going to limit their critical mass. So we're going to take this trade. Moving on. It does shut off the ability for us to fetch for our Dried Arbor, but it's of course already in our hand, so that doesn't matter. All right, they're going to Vial. I think they're going to shut down one of our birds. Sure. It's fine. We know about the Hex Catcher in hand, so if they have a Subtlety, they're gonna be hellbent. 4. If they have something like a Dismember, I think we just kill the Trickster and lose our birds. Okay, they go up to 3. So the concern is the Lord, the 3/4, 3 mana. That's the best card they can have at this point, I think. But we will still be able to kill it with our Grist. We have 3 cards in hand. Let's see what they do here. Cage is annoying. That's a card I would like to get off the battlefield. We don't get as much value out of our creatures because of the Cage, obviously. But as it stands, we can play out our whole hand next turn, which I think is pretty good. 2 mana. 1 mana. Hex Catcher. Sure. You have a Hex Catcher. 3 mana. All right, we're going to kill a Hex Catcher in response. We do not want this thing to have Indestructible. Mimic, okay. Sure, you can tap my Yawgmoth. Alright, so we don't know what's in their hand right now. We'll take a hit for 2, I guess. We're down to 13. Okay, and from here we have Proliferate up. So we'll play out our Dryad Arbor, and we're going to play out our Hierarch, play out our Wolf, and now we can Proliferate up the Vial, and we can take this out of the game. So that is our strategy from this point forward. So they're going to be stuck on very limited mana, not really going to be able to do too much. And if and when we proliferate, we're going to put counters on these, at least one of them. Silvergill, and they have a Tide Shaper in hand, sure. Okay. So if they have a 3-drop, okay, so we'll just wait for a moment here. We're not going to force anything right now. Blooming Marsh, we're going to be discarding that to the Proliferate. Play out a Geist. I think they're anticipating me proliferating, so I'm not going to do that. We'll see what they have here. Nothing. Yeah, they were counting on that. And from here, so to me that says that they probably have a Subtlety in hand. I'm just going to wipe their board, I think. All right, so that doesn't do anything with the Cage there. I'm going to dump the Young Wolf here. We don't get the trigger off the Cage, but and then from here, discard the Cord, and then we'll proliferate. And then I think we can safely attack with our Yawgmoth here. I think we'll wait a turn. Just because they have the Mutavault. Yeah, we knew about the Tide Shaper. They had one other card, so they like there wasn't really a 3-drop I was too concerned about. So Tide Shaper, kicked. Sure. So they will be able to get a subtlety in play, but we will kill this thing. I think we just kill it now. We're down to 10. So this is going to die, and then this, I don't think that will work. No. Okay, and from this point forward, if they try to activate the Vial, it's going to be out of commission. Discard the Marsh, bump the Vial. All right, nice Vial. All right, Yawg, pretty good, pretty good. And now I think it's safe for us to attack here. Play our Grist out. We'll see if they subtlety this. They do not. Start getting some value off that, and then I'm going to wait one more turn on an attack. I know I'm giving them a chance here, but just because my life total is so low, I just don't want to. I don't want to mess it up. They scoop. We did it. 4-1. 4-1. We're doing it. All right, we are 4-1. We are on the play against Martyr 1207. This is round 6 of the Modern Challenge. Opening hand, strong. Drawn some good ones recently. Last couple have been good ones. All right, they keep a 7-card hand. I'm just debating how I want to start my turn 1. The Innkeeper gives us a little flexibility. Excuse me. So I think we can just fetch basic here. So we'll fetch basic forest, play out our bird, and then pass the turn. Let's see what they're playing. I'll F6 through their turn. I don't have anything going on. Martyr leads basic island. Yeah, it's nice to get nice hands. This feels like Merfolk again. We'll see if we're doing it again. Turn 2 an Evo. Here I think we just go. So we can go Geist, we can go Hierarch. I think Hierarch's probably the, maybe the Innkeeper's the best play. So if we don't draw land, we go Geist next turn, and if we do draw land, we go Yawgmoth. No, I think we'll just play out our Hierarch. It's not the most mana efficient play, but I think it's fine. Or turn 2, Vial. Turn 2 Vial, not the best. And that is it. Oh my gosh. OMG. Yawgmoth, not bad. Not bad, not bad. All right, so we're going to, I think we're going to go Innkeeper into Geist, and the next turn get our Yawgmoth. This is the first time I've drawn Yawgmoth since I put it back in the deck. Actually nice that it's insulating our life total a little bit here. So we'll put them down to 13. Innkeeper's really nice here. Like, this incidental life gain that we'll gain off of it is just very, very valuable in this matchup. Yeah, we can add green for free with the peatland because of the Yawgmoth. Okay, they play out a Mutavault, so they do hit their second land drop. Spreading Seas. So, despite the Spreading Seas, we still can cast our Yawgmoth, so that's fine. And we drew a bird. I wonder if we can still... we can't tap that for... I thought because of the Yawgmoth, but I guess it's state-based, whichever one comes on second. So we're going to lead with an attack for 3 with the Geist, and then we're going to play Yawg. We'll see if they have a subtlety. If they do have a subtlety, or no, maybe we Evo here. I think we actually Evo. And the reason I'm doing this is because it plays around subtlety. If they have a force and negation, all right, there's our Yawgmoth. I wonder if they're just thinking about scooping from this point. Yeah, I didn't think about the sacrificing it until after combat, which is why I didn't do that. I thought I was just going to hard cast my Yawgmoth. I think we're actually just going to play out our bird and pass. I don't think we're actually going to... Yeah, I think we're going to take this line. They'll get a 1-drop. See if they put anything into play. Tide Shaper. Okay, I think... Okay, we'll let this stick for now. They're pretty far behind, so they need to do some serious catching up. Okay, they drew 2 lands in a row, so that's good for them. So this build is a little bit different than the one we played against last round, because last round I don't think they had Spreading Seas. I think I would probably just save. I think the sacrifice, being able to target a creature, is probably better than the dealing an extra point of damage. So they're paying costs. Second Tide Shaper, sure. We're not too concerned about these. We will be able to just proliferate them all down. We drew another forest. I'm almost tempted to get rid of the Innkeeper. I think that might be how we approach this. I don't think we really need it at this point. No, we'll start with the bird. And I'm adding black mana because of the proliferate. Okay, so that's just lethal at this point. Let's see what they do here. Okay, and they scoop. They see it. Turtles, you fell asleep. Alright, so we're gonna do the same thing we did last round, I think, with these 4 cards. I wonder, because they're running Spreading Seas, if we bring in another Force of Vigor? Probably not. Alright, I think we're gonna shave 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, no, we want Hepatra. We don't want a Geist. Or maybe we shave... I think I shaved an Evo last round. Keep a Geist. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we shave on a Cord. Cord's a little slow. Keeping Evo, shave a Cord. I think that seems fine. Go with this. Let's do it. I would love to just get this 2-0. That would be really nice. So we have a winning in for top 8 next round. Don't want to rush things, but I'm going to eat a little bit while we're waiting too. Alright, opening 7. We don't have a Yawg, but I think this is a keep. They did keep their 7 as well. Our mana's pretty good this game, which I like. Alright, they have Vial. Definitely didn't want another land, but what are you going to do? I think turn 2 we might go Hepatra, and then into turn 3 Wall Geist, depending on what we draw. If we draw a 1-drop, we're definitely putting out the wall, though. Vials on 1. If they Tide Shaper our Marsh, we'll just play out the... Okay, they do not. They only have 1 land. This deck is so volatile. When that was actually a really good draw. Alright, I'm going to fetch... I'm going to lead with an attack. Vial, sure. Another 1-drop. Dockhand. You got me. That's okay. Okay, I'm going to play... Let me get a Forest. Get my Hepatra into play. Then I'm going to dump this Vial during their upkeep. If they have another 1-drop, they'll get value off of it. But if they don't, I think they're going to be in a little bit of trouble here. They have another 1-drop. Wow. I was not expecting that. Alright, let's see if they draw another land. 1. Dismember. Getting rid of our Hepatra here. Sure. Okay, from here... Alright, our mana is pretty good at this point. I'm going to fetch a Swamp. Play on our wall. I wonder if we just attack into this board. No, because they'll... Yeah, that's not worth it. Alright, they only have 3 cards in hand, so we'll see what happens from here. And from this point forward, any business spell, I think, just wins us the game. There's a Lord. Okay. They got some beefy creatures now. We don't have any islands, so they can't really... I think we'll block here. And we'll take 4. Yawg, 1 time. Not a Yawg. Alright, we might be in a little bit of trouble. Play out a Hierarch. We're going to swing for 1. I'm going to fetch my Dryad Arbor here. Now if they have a Voldalian Hexcatcher, they can actually make some pretty profitable trades. So we could actually be in a little bit of trouble. If they swing at the Lord, that's going to be the tell that that's what's going on here. Alright, we're going to block here and here. Sure. Take 2. This does give them the green light to attack with the Lord of Atlantis, though. So this doesn't do anything, I don't think. Oh, no, it just bounces that. That's fine. Alright, we're going to fetch and get our Dryad Arbor. Drawing into a Yawg. That is not a Yawg. We're flooding out here. This is bad. Alright, pass the turn. I feel like this is a game we should have won. Like if we just drew anything decent. I guess that's the risk of keeping a hand that doesn't have any business. We're going to take a big hit here. Alright, which is the biggest? The 3/3. I think we just need to preserve our life total. Block there. We'll take 4. All right, Aether Vial. 2 cards in hand. Yawgmoth, 1 time. Come on. Our prayers have been answered. Oof. Oof. Praise the Lord. All right, let's start mowing these fools down. Yeah, I think where we're going to go here, we're going to mow this one down. We have to start with the Lord. The Lord's the important one. Another bird, not bad. I think we're going to get rid of Harbinger. We're down to 5. Life total's getting a little sketchy. Innkeeper. Gosh darn, I love Innkeeper. This card is so good. Now if we draw into... So if we draw into a, like an Undying creature, we will just, I think we'll just win the game from there. All right, so during their upkeep, before they can do much of anything, we're gonna kill this Tide Shaper, this card, and we'll wipe their board here. Oh, I guess I should have gotten the dock hand, that was a mistake. Hit him with the, I had to. All right, now we just need to, we need like one more turn here. 3 mana. Okay. That's their best creature. We can deal with that. We're going to draw a couple cards here. Yawgmoth. Grist, okay. Okay, Grist, I see you. 1, 2, 3. Grist plus minus on the Sylvian. We're up a life. 2 mana left. Minus on the Sylvian. Or I just Grist minus and just kill it. I think that's probably the safest move. Dump our wall and then just go ham next turn. The way we lose this game, I guess, is if they have like a dismember. That would be very bad. So see if they draw into that. I'm not 100% sure that that was the right play there. So they're activating main phase. Trickster. Okay, so they tap our Yawg. So this is going to open up a line of attack with the Mutavault. I think we just let this happen. We'll see if they attack me or if they attack Grist. If they attack Grist, we're fine with that. Yeah, that's fine. Another Vial, okay. Alright, so any Undier from this point forward. Ding ding. I guess I should have saved the Mire. That was a mistake. That was wrong. Alright, we'll dump down the dock hand to start with. Another creature? We got another creature. Hey, we're gaining life. Blood Artist, if we can pull another land, would be good. It's another creature, we'll take it. There's a land, we like that. Necroplasm, so we'll have that next turn. Alright, I think we're in a pretty controlling position. We're at 6 life, and as long as we get to our next turn, I don't know what they could have really outside of Dismember. Like, that's how they win this game, I think, if with a Dismember. But even then, they don't really have any threats. Okay. Feels like we're winning from here. Okay. Should be GG. Okay, GG's. Got there. Bonk 101. They reveal a Gigantha. Alright. Opening 7. We are on the draw. I think this is too slow. I don't think we can keep this. We're going to mulligan. They begin with 7 cards in hand. Our 6. Oh, the 6 is so bad. We need to pull land. We need to get lucky here. I feel like we might need to go down to 5. So it's like, okay, this is Corey, so he's playing the deck we just saw. Do we go down to 5 here? We're on the draw. We'll have 2 draw steps to hit a land. Yeah, they're not on Hammer. We were just looking in on their stream. They're on Breach. Oh, this is close. Close, close. Like, the Evos are just so bad, but Yawgmoth is good. I think we're going to keep it, and we're going to ship an Evo. This is really close, and that's... I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. See how this goes. I haven't lost this matchup yet. I don't want to jinx myself. I think I might have just done that, but I haven't lost against this fair version of the deck yet. Okay, so they look at their top card. Fetch. Best case scenario for us is a Ragavan. Sacred Foundry. If they don't have a prismatic ending. So we'll see. Draw a card, they're up to 6 cards. All right, we drew into our bird. I don't think we can play that out based on their turn 1 play. I think we just have to play our Yawgmoth past the turn. We need to draw a land, plain and simple. All right, their turn 2. They play out a Spire Bluff, pass the turn. All right, deck, do your thing. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. All right, we're in business-ish. We're gonna lead with an attack. Business-ish. They played the Sacred Foundry and they shocked. To me, that says they have it. And we're gonna play it out now though, because it's relatively free, but they have a removal spell for this bird here. All right, turn 3, we'll see what they do, and then we'll go from there. If we draw a land, we'll get our Yawg out. If we, all right, turn 3 iteration. If we don't get a land, I wonder if we just Evo and go from there. Best case scenario, we draw a land here. So we shall see. They're gonna have Delirium, so they can just kill our wall. We'll see if that's what happens here. Feels like it might. All right, there goes the heat. All right, turn 3, no land. Ugh, it hurts, it burns. I think we just pass from here. I don't think we can let a Ragavan hit happen, so I think we just have to pass the turn. And then on our turn, I guess the question is Evo or Grist? I think probably Grist. 3 mana here. What's 3 mana in their deck? Giganta. Okay, okay. 6 cards in hand. They're opening up the window for us here a little bit. If we can draw a land. We need a land. Very, very important. Kind of a land. So bad. So bad. So depending on whether or not they tap out this turn will dictate if this chord is good or not. I think we're just going to be priced into casting it regardless. But I have to imagine they have a removal spell or a spell pierce for it. It's 5 mana. Oh, they just, okay. Sure. That's weird. Okay. So they have like infinite mana now, but we can deal with this Giganta, so we are going to. They also could be setting up a breach turn. This might be a mistake, but this is the line I'm going to take here. Let me just make sure there's nothing better that I can do. Yeah, we're going to hit their graveyard. All right, let's see what they got. My issue isn't so much taking a hit from Giganta, it's more so the amount of mana that it's going to facilitate on their turn. So they can, like this is 5 mana here. Okay, they bolt my Dryad Arbor, sure. Now they start filling up the graveyard again. Dump a Hallowed Fountain, sure. Play a land, swing for 5. We're gonna take that hit. Okay, see, we draw a land. All right, got our land, that's what we wanted. From here, we're gonna play out our Grist and Plus, but I'm gonna lead. I think we're gonna keep the team back here. And we'll pass turn from here. I feel like this has become a very close game. Let's see. If we draw a land on our next turn, we'll kind of be in business. Hang 1. This is like a creature. Let's see what they have. Breach, sure. They're gonna bolt something. Breach number 2, sure. Guess getting Endurance was the right call. Breach into breach. Just message them, just how you draw it up. Put a land in the graveyard. They're gonna swing for 5, sure. They're attacking Grist, we're gonna block it. Turn off the auto yields. Another Shredder, okay. Okay, if we can pull a land here, we are in, I think, really good shape. That is not a land. All right, so we can dump our Endurance and get ourselves a Yawg here. I think that's probably the move. We have 3 card types in the graveyard. So I'm gonna attack with the Endurance first. I could grab Shieldred, but I don't know that that's gonna be good enough. I think I want to hit my land drops, so I think we're getting a Yawgmoth. And then we'll pass from here. They have 2 cards in hand, 3 card types in graveyard. Their best draw is probably an iteration from here, or another breach, I guess. They keep the card on top. 3 card types. There's another breach. 3 card types.
double triggers off the Shredder. We could go looking for our other Endurance. I don't think that's good enough. They dump a Consider into the graveyard, sure. They have access to this Bolt a couple of times over. Let's see how they approach this turn, and then we'll go from there. I don't want to prematurely dump my Yawg because it gives me mana. Okay, this opens things up a little bit. This feels like a prismatic ending. Teferi. Okay. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to bounce our Yawg, which sucks big time. And from here, yeah, Grist is 100% dead. That's not the issue here. I think I have to let this happen. I can't, at this point, because the Breach is in play and because of the sequencing, I can't activate, because they just bolt down my Yawgmoth at that point. So they swing at Grist for 3, bolt down my Yawgmoth, bolt face. I wonder if they're just thinking if they can kill me. I think they're actually pretty close to just killing me here. So they can bolt face. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Or 1 point short of dead. Yeah, as you said, Nicole B, they do just kill us if I activate. So not the right move. Not the right move to activate. If I do activate, I'm targeting one of their Shredders. Well, I would target twice, but it would leave me in lethal range. You have 2 cards in hand. This was like a very mediocre Moldus 6, so hopefully game 2 on the draw we can pull ahead here. They're using a lot of time off the clock too. They disconnected for a little while. Okay, they bolt Grist, sure. Play a Ragavan, sure. And it looks like that's it. And then Grist is going to die to a Shredder attack. Okay. I feel like that could have been worse. Alright, still need a land here. Land. Alright. Alright. They have the Teferi. And now if they have something like a Unholy Heat, like we have to dodge double spell. They likely have 1 spell in hand. We gotta keep them off the second. Another one? Come on, man. Come on. Ugh. This is pretty brutal. The second one here. Yeah, I think... yeah, we just let this happen. Can't do much. We're pretty close to dead here, depending on what they have in their hand. Shredder, double triggers, 3, 4, 5. Like if they have a Bolt in hand, get the vibe the last card is Bolt. Pretty dead from here. And now we're forced to chump block. I don't think we have an out from here. But because of the amount of time they took, we're gonna play to that out as well. Not the greatest feeling in the world to win that way, but clock is a real thing. All right. Play out a Hierarch. Play out our Hierarch. Gonna trigger a million Shredder triggers. Play our Marsh. Yield through the turn. All right. Let's see what they got. Block here. They're F6'd, and we'll concede. It's good. All right, game 2. Game 2. I think this gets a little better for us. We're bringing Endurances. Necroplasm is a maybe. I think Ooze is fine. I think Might is fine. And I don't know about Force of Vigor. Probably not a Vigor. I think our way to interact here is with Endurance. Ratchet Bomb maybe. Nah, I don't think that's good enough. I think this is fine. This grouping of cards. We just need a decent opener. I think this is a matchup we're favored. Boarding out, we're taking out some Hierarchs for sure. We can take out... I'm going to take out an Evo and one more card. I feel like Hepatra's medium against them. I think I'm going to pull the Hepatra and we'll submit this. Let's go. Why would you even register a Ratchet Bomb in Modern? Zerk, did you XO? You 7-0 right now? All right, I like the 7. We'll keep this. This I can work with. They keep their 7. They did. Okay, we're going to lead on a turn 1 bird. Likely to get bolted, but we'll see. We'll see how they approach this. See if they want to get a threat down as opposed to bolting it. Bobble. You lost to your X1. What did you lose to? They have so much 1 mana removal, like the chances of this surviving are about 0%, pretty close to 0%. Fetch, shock, bobble 2, sure. Mismatching baubles, -1. Okay, this is good for us. This is very good for us. Court of Calling, not bad. I would like to see a third land at some point. And here we're faced with a dilemma. Do we play out the Grist and let them use their turn trying to kill the Grist? Or do we play out our Geist into our Yawgmoth just to have a little bit more formidable of a defense against this Ragavan? And I think, given the fact I don't have a third land right now, I think we're going to play out the Grist and let them spend their turn trying to kill it. We are going to take a little bit of damage here. This plays nice with our Court of Calling as well, so lost a Hammer. Hammer's a good deck. It is a good deck. 1-2 iteration. Wow. Okay, this I like. This feels good to me. They already played their land, so that's out of the question. I Ratchet Bombed against the Mono Red 8 Blast deck yesterday, and oh no, it wasn't Ratchet Bomb, it was Necroplasm. Never mind. I lied. I didn't Ratchet Bomb. Yeah, but Necroplasm did some serious work. Alright, so from here, I can leave up Cord. They have 6 cards in hand. Play out our Marsh. We don't really care too much about the Ragavan, so we're going to let that happen. And that's a thing. That is a thing. Wasn't planning on doing this turn, but this works. Okay, and I think I'm just going to let... We played our land drop. This will put a card in their graveyard for the Breach if they have one in hand, but I don't think they have the resources to really go too crazy with it right now. Kind of want to find another land here. Okay, Endurance is pretty good. We'll stop there. Okay, they scoop. Going to game 3. All right, game 3, all important. On the draw, I don't think we need to change anything. I think we just resubmit the same deck. Let's go. So, this opening 7, this kind of has the same problem as our original 7. I think this is a little risky here. I don't love it. We are on the draw. I don't think we can keep this. I don't think we can keep this. This is not good. All right, here goes nothing. I think we get rid of those. All right, we just need to start pulling lands off the top to have a chance. Keep it on the draw, but it's definitely not good. This is a turn 1 Ragavan. Okay, not a Ragavan. Okay, we drew a land. That's good. I'm gonna lead on the Hierarch. I would actually prefer the bird in play over the Hierarch, so that's why I'm doing that. Bolt the bird, sure. We have 5 cards in hand. DRC is not online. This is scary. So we need, like, Innkeeper buys us, gets us to 3 mana, but we're going to be on a super quick clock. It does gain us some life too if it survives. I think this is like the most resilient play. I think I'm just going to pass from here. Doesn't feel great. 2 mana. Iteration. So they're pretty close to Threshold here. Or Delirium, or whatever it's called. My hope is they don't have a land and they brick on a land. But they kept a card on top, so that is not likely. Not likely here. Play a Flooded Strand out, sure. They're attacking, okay. I think we have to take this. I don't think we can risk blocking if they have a spell they can cast. All right, drew our land. They do not have Delirium. So I guess the question is, do we Yawgmoth this turn? Got choices. Yeah, Bird plus Geist seems reasonable, and then we can just Yawg next turn. Just build out our board state. I have to imagine the bird is probably going to die, though. Gaining a little bit of life is nice. I think we're going to attack with the Innkeeper here. Yeah, the draw isn't so much about... It's not so much about one draw, it's about taking them off of a second channeler before they hit Delirium. That's where the... That's the relevant thing that I'm considering. So I guess pre-combat I shouldn't have cast the Geist there. Now if they have a breach, so they got 3/3s now. If they have a breach, we're gonna be in deep trouble. Yeah, so that was, my sequencing was off on that turn. That was a mistake the way I did that. I have to imagine they probably have a breach at this point. They have so many cards in hand. Yeah. This spells trouble. So I imagine they bolt the bird, sure. They have a bauble in there or no? Keeping a card on top. I wonder if it's like another breach on top. So the way we win this game is if we get Yawg into play, we draw an Endurance. I think Endurance is the way we win this game. That's how we do this. Oh, they're hitting our treasure. Dirty. Dirty. This deck is fine. It's like, it's not a bad matchup for us. My hands just didn't do what they were supposed to do. I kept a 5-card hand. Like, we have answers to this. It's just wasn't in the cards today, so to speak. I imagine they have another breach. And for that reason, I think we are likely going to be losing on their turn, but we'll give it a good old college try here. Like, I haven't lost to this deck yet. This is the first time I've actually, assuming that we're dead on their next turn, which I think we are. Yeah, I guess I could do that. That would be an option. Shredder, sure. 1, 2, 3. Teferi, sure. They have no cards in hand. They'll draw a card off the Teferi. So this pretty much is almost ensures lethal at this point. Take a hit for 6. Down to 3. Haywire Might does not do it. All right. Wish our opponent GG's. GL in the top 8. All right, everybody. That's the end of our run, unfortunately. A little unfortunate that it ended that way. I guess, I could draw a card. Oh, there's an Endurance. What do you know? It was an Endurance. But still, despite that, it's not gonna make a difference. We're dead. We're dead. All right, we are playing against Chase 00111. This is round 8 of the Modern Challenge. We are currently 5-2, and we are on the draw. And I think, as you can tell, we cannot keep this opener. We will mulligan. Our 6-card hand is slow, but I think we can keep it. Our opponent revealed a Gigantha, so we're expecting them to probably get out of the gates pretty quickly, but I don't think we can ship this hand. I think we have to keep. I think we put a Yawgmoth on the bottom and go from there. So, as is always the case, turn 1 Ragavan's the most concerning start. Them leading on basic mountain. All right, so we're playing against the deck we were just talking about. So we'll see if my theory crafting is accurate with regard to Sheoldred. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit too, so I apologize if I'm a little scratchy. 1-drop? Not a 1-drop. All right, we're going to lead Marsh and just pass the turn. I could get the Catacombs, so I'm going to save that just in case we need a Dryad Arbor at some point. Turn 2, I'm probably going to play out the Strangle Root, and then turn 3, I think we'll go Wall of Roots into Innkeeper. We have 4 cards in hand. We drew an Endurance. It's actually not terrible. I wonder if I go Innkeeper this turn. If I go Innkeeper, the chances of the Innkeeper surviving are probably very small. But Innkeeper this turn lets me Wall of Roots next turn into an Endurance on their turn. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. No, I think we're going to go Geist and then double spell next turn. Okay, so Blue Splash, as expected. Lava Dart. Okay. This Geist is strictly serving the purpose of a chump blocker. So, we're fine with that. They're going to bolt this down. Alright, that's fine. We're going to take a hit for 6, so pretty big hit here. Very big hit here. We are down to 9 life. They have 2 cards in hand. Okay, from here, there's 2 ways to do this. I can go Wall of Roots into Innkeeper, where we don't gain a life. Or I can go Innkeeper into Wall of Roots and gain a life. But I think Wall of Roots into Innkeeper gives us Chord as well on their turn, so I think that's the way we're going to play this. We'll be down to 8 life. Our life total is getting a little low, but we can potentially gain a life with our Chord. I imagine they're probably going to Lava Dart down the Innkeeper here. Channeler, sure. Channeler's a 1/1. Lava Dart, as expected. We'll get some Prowess triggers here. And they will be able to dump card into their graveyard. Let's see what they put there. They're keeping it on top. Alright, we're going to cord now and get ourselves a Yawgmoth. We'll gain a life off of this. Done. Yawgmoth. Up to 9. And we need one more turn here, so we need not to die this turn. Probably need more than one turn, but one turn gets us Yawg into play, which at least buys us some time. Okay, that's pretty brutal. Not over yet. Alright, I think we have to play that out tapped and then pass the turn from here with the plan of Yawging next turn. They have 1 mana, 1 card in hand, 2 mana, 1 card in hand. This is like a breach. Okay, it is a breach, so we can deal with this. Prowess, Prowess, dump a card, good. And no, I would like to say something about that. And now they don't really have very good attacks. Let's see what they do here. I think they just passed the turn, I would imagine. Yes, okay, stabilized. I didn't see the name there, but I greatly appreciate the follow. Thank you. Welcome to the clinic. Let's move back to our turn here. Kind of crazy that we've stabilized here. And I think from here, this is where our boy Sheoldred comes into play. All right, let's actually, maybe I Yawgmoth this turn and then Sheoldred next turn. I think that probably is better. So we'll pass the turn from here. Okay, they drew a land. All right, so if we get our Sheoldred in play, I think we just win from there. So how would Messenger look in this instance? Probably not great. Okay, so we're actually just really close to a win. And it's a matter of whether or not, like I can play out the Blood Artist. I think that's probably better. Start with Blood Artist and attack with the Endurance. Can't imagine they block here. From here, we're gonna minus. If this is a land, we'll just win. It is not a land. For that reason, I'm gonna minus there. So we're gonna gain some life. Okay, so now we just win here. Done. Get ourselves a Geist, and they scoop. All right, we're up a game. Stabilized. I didn't think we were gonna win that. That was on a mull of 6, and our hand was a little slow, but we got there. We're gonna bring in our Endurances, our Necroplasm, our Ratchet Bomb, our Scavenging Ooze, our Haywire Might. We are pulling most of our Grists out of the deck. We are pulling at least 1 Court of Calling, potentially 2 here. We just want to drop our curve down a little bit. I think we're going to shave on Hierarchs. I think we're going to cut another chord. And we'll go with this configuration. Let's do it. One more. One more for top 16. This is a pretty big challenge too, so top 16 is nothing to scoff at. I like the 7. We'll keep it. As long as they don't Spreading Seas my forest, I think we're okay. We're in a decent position. Take it for 1. They kept a 7-card hand. Geist, not terrible. Definitely not playing out our Hierarch turn 1. Not where we want to be. Turn 2, they're fetching. The best card they have against us is the little dragon thing. So we'll see if they have that here. That is a good one. That is a problematic card for us. So we are going to need to get rid of that, and quickly, because that can get out of hand. And that is why I shaved Hierarchs, and I did not shave Birds of Paradise. Having blockers for that thing is really important. Okay, they're looking at my top card. Foothills, not great. Play out our Wall of Roots. Play our Hierarch. And I think we're just going to hang tight. I don't think we're attacking here. I think there's a good chance that our Hierarch is dead. And I don't want to put up my Wall of Roots. I don't want to put it in harm's way, because that's going to get us Yawgmoth next turn. So I think we're just going to hang tight. Iteration. That's pretty good. See if they hit or they miss here. Prismatic Ending. Do they miss a land? They have a land. They're down to 14. Our Wolf is going to go bye-bye, I imagine. Or our Hierarch. Yeah, there goes our Wolf. Sure. This thing is a 4/4, and then they have a 3/4. They're attacking with both. And I am going to put the wall in the way here. And if they have a pump spell, I gotta make them show it. I can't just take that much damage, so I'm down to 10. All right, from here, our Yawgmoth will at least slow things down a little bit, hopefully. They have 3 cards in hand. We might just be dead. There's a good chance we're probably just dead. This deck is fast. So if they have a breach, we just lose. Iteration. Probably just gonna lose. Lava Dart. Deals me 2, pumps this 2. Oh wow, they're targeting there, that's strange. I think we minus the unblockable one. That was a strange line. They have another pump spell we just lose, but alright, we're down to 3. So if we draw like Innkeeper, did I cut the Innkeeper? I don't think I did. So if we draw Innkeeper into Innkeeper, Geist into Wolf, we can win this game. Birds of Paradise. It's a blocker, but they do have the Lava Dart. Do have that Lava Dart over there. Alright, we'll lead on the Geist. We're gonna go down to 2 life. I tapped my mana wrong. That was bad. That was bad. Too little, too late, my friend. Too little, too late. I don't think we have a way to win from here. So I think I'm just going to concede. I'm not going to show them extra cards. Okay. Go to game 3, and I like our chances much better on the play, so we'll go with this. Same configuration. Opening 7 is a little weak. Like our mana doesn't deal us damage, which is really good, but our cards are bad. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. This is not very good either, but I think we're gonna keep it. This doesn't feel like we're winning this game. Like we have to draw a 2-drop and get our Shieldred. Keep, put back, Dryad Arbor. Okay, they mulligan to 6 as well. Play out our Marsh and pass the turn. So best draw is a 2-drop. 1 mana. And they play out a 1-drop, sure. Alright. Geist, 1 time. That's a 4-drop. That is not what we wanted. Play out the Ratchet Bomb, and we will pass the turn from here. Yeah, we don't have the 1-drop Ratchet Bomb Nombo, but we also aren't really doing too much here. Sprite Dragon. That's the card we need to worry about. I really need a creature on my next turn. Put a charge counter. I have to make sure not to click the wrong part of Ratchet Bomb. So brutal. We'll play out our Verdant. Pass the turn. 2 mana. Prismatic Ending. Okay, well at least they're doing this pre-combat. So we'll get rid of the Swift Spear, so this saves us a little bit of damage here. Yield into the end step. Take 2. They have 3 cards in hand. Let's see what they have from here. 1-drop. Okay. Okay, we can, as long as they don't hit their 4th card type, we can deal with that. Tomb tapped. Draw. Wall of Roots. Okay. So we can Wall of Roots into Shieldred, and I think, is that better than just playing out Yawgmoth? Like is 2 life a turn? Is that enough to slow them down? Or do I just get like an Endurance? Endurance seems so low impact though. Like we could just be dead if they have a bunch of spells. They can like double or triple spell next turn. The problem with getting Shieldred this turn is like it doesn't lead to anything else. I think we just have to get Yawg in play. Like we'll gain 2 life, but then next turn we're still like, we're only casting 1 spell. Alright, fingers crossed we don't die. Bolt the Yawg, sure. That's 4 card types. We're taking a big hit here. This is really rough. 4, 7, we're down to 7 life. And they got this thing. I don't know how we're going to answer that. We're just drawing garbage. Play our Wall of Roots. We have to sacrifice this. There really isn't a good answer here. Yeah, the Endurance. I guess the Endurance I can at least chump block. Like, doesn't feel good. Oh, wow. Wow. They didn't lava spike me. It's crazy. It's weird. A little bit of a mess up on their part. 1, 2, 3. Is this Gigantha into hand? Okay, Prismatic Ending. Nice. We are down to 1 life. I don't think we have an out from here. Yawgmoth. If we're at 2 life, we'd have an out, but at 1 life, I don't think we really do. I think we have to get another endurance here. All right, got blockers. Doesn't feel great. They bolt me. Anticlimactic. Not good. Not good. That sucks. Ugh. 5 and 3. So bad. All right. All right. The list was, I think the list was fine. I think some mulligans kind of hurt us a little bit, you know, which happened. It is part of playing the game. It is part of having the deck. This deck in particular, you do mulligan a little more than I would care for. Like, I think like 25 or 21 and a half lands is like the sweet spot, but there's just nothing to put in place of that. I didn't miss Messenger at all. I don't really think it was that big of a downside not playing it. There wasn't a match that I can think of where we would have won if we had Messenger. Like, we played Blue-Red Murktide, where Messenger is like medium. We played, I have it all written down here. Creativity, Messenger is fine. Hammer, it's bad. Yawgmoth, it's fine. Merfolk twice, it's bad. Breach, it's not great. And then Prowess, it's terrible. So, like, out of the 8 rounds we played today, Messenger would have been really bad in 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be really bad in 4 of them, half of them. And, like, kind of bad in 2 of them, and then, like, okay in 2 of them. So, I don't think it was a big deal not playing the card. I don't think it was that big of a drawback not playing the card. I didn't miss it. So the rest of the deck, like, the big thing is, like, is Shieldred 1 better than Grist 4? And I think, once again, given the matchups we played today, I think this list was the correct list to play. But, you know, it just didn't go our way at the end there. 2 losses in a row, some hard mulligans, some slow hands. So, yeah, that mull to 6 that game was brutal. Like, we could have gone to 5. I don't think we're winning on a mull to 5. So we just needed the top of our deck to be nice, but it wasn't. It wasn't. We didn't really see any creatures. So, sideboard. I like the sideboard. Necroplasm didn't really do anything. Necroplasm feels kind of slow. I don't know. Maybe it's swapped out for like a removal spell, like a Doomblade or a... Those cards just feel very low impact too. Maybe a Engineered Explosives. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but for the time being, I'll keep it in. I'll test it a little bit more. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you being with me. Everybody be well. All right.